For several days now, the province of Guangdong in southern China has been hit by torrential rains, causing massive floods that have severely affected the region. Guangdong, a major economic hub and home to 120 million people, has seen its streets and homes submerged in water, forcing more than 140,000 people to relocate and leaving at least 10 people missing. This extreme weather event has occurred ahead of the usual flood season, raising concerns about the impacts of climate change in China. Extreme weather events in China are becoming increasingly frequent and severe, testing the country's resilience to natural disasters. The floods not only pose an immediate threat to millions of lives, but also jeopardize the economy of Guangdong, one of China's wealthiest and most densely populated regions. As a key commercial and manufacturing center, disruptions caused by persistent rains in Guangdong could have far-reaching effects on the global supply chain. In response to the crisis, emergency services are working tirelessly to assist those affected. Infrastructure, including roads and bridges, has suffered significant damage, and crops and farmland have also been severely impacted, raising concerns about food supply. The government has mobilized resources to support relief efforts, creating shelters for the displaced and reinforcing emergency measures. Local authorities in the provinces of Shaanxi and Hunan have deployed numerous rescuers to restore infrastructure and save residents in flooded areas. A total of 110 firefighters and 20 vehicles have been sent to the hardest-hit areas, resulting in the safe evacuation of 540 stranded residents. Additionally, over 1,000 sandbags have been filled, and more than 100 meters of dikes have been reinforced to manage and control the flooding. This year's flood season, typically lasting from June to August, is expected to be marked by both severe flooding and prolonged droughts. Small and medium-sized rivers in the provinces of Hainan and Guangdong are at particular risk of moderate to severe flooding due to ongoing heavy rains. In light of this situation, the local government is maintaining constant vigilance over water levels and weather forecasts and has developed evacuation plans for the most vulnerable areas. Experts warn that climate change is a significant factor in these increasingly intense weather patterns, and such extreme conditions could become the new norm. Guangdong's economic output is crucial for national growth, and the current floods could further hinder China's post-pandemic economic recovery. In Hunan Province, one of the hardest-hit areas, tens of thousands of residents have been evacuated. The provincial capital, Zhengzhou, saw its subway system completely flooded, forcing passengers to swim to safety. Water and electricity supply disruptions in several areas have made life considerably difficult for local residents. Shaanxi province has also experienced heavy rains, with water levels reaching rooftops in some areas. Local authorities have set up temporary shelters for victims, providing necessary food and medical care. The military and volunteers are actively participating in rescue operations, strengthening dams and building temporary protective structures. In Sichuan, floods have caused landslides that destroyed roads and bridges, isolating some villages. Local residents report widespread destruction of agricultural crops, and authorities urge people to be prepared to evacuate and follow rescue services instructions. Typhoon Prapirun is approaching China, having already caused significant damage in the Philippines and Taiwan. Meteorologists predict that the typhoon will bring strong winds and heavy rains, which could lead to more flooding and landslides. In anticipation of this new disaster, the Chinese government has mobilized all available resources and is strengthening security measures, conducting preventive work, and reinforcing protective structures. The international community has expressed solidarity with China during this difficult time. Many countries have offered their assistance and support by sending humanitarian aid and disaster relief specialists. Meanwhile, volunteers and charitable organizations are actively helping victims, raising donations, and providing temporary housing. The situation in China highlights the urgent need for robust climate adaptation strategies. Recent events are a stark reminder of the challenges posed by climate change and the importance of being prepared for future natural disasters. With Typhoon Prapirun on the horizon, authorities and citizens must remain vigilant and coordinated to minimize damage and protect the population.